A bank exchanges money for a traveler. So they charge a fee for every transaction. So there's initial cost. And then they use the current exchange rates. So it looks like here that a person is converting yen into dollars. Okay, so yen into dollars. So we're going to establish, first of all, the independent variable. The input will be the yen. Okay, that'll be our x. And the dependent variable looks like to be the Canadian dollars, which will be our output, or y. So we want to come up with this equation. So again, I'm just going to sketch a quick graph here. So we have, up to, there's 20,000 yen here. That's our independent variable, and then we have our dollars Canadian, and it looks like, we can go up to maybe $500 here. Okay, so that's going to be maybe make a little bit better scale. 4, 3, 2, 1, $100. Okay, so here's 10,000 here, and we'll just estimate 6,300 yen is $102, so maybe somewhere around here. It's just a rough estimate, and 20,000 is going to be $318, so maybe we'll just say that's about there. Okay, so there's our graph. And to write the equation, we need m and b. We need the y-intercept and the slope. So I'm going to calculate my slope first. My slope is going to be my change in y. So it's going to be 20,000 minus 6,300. Okay, so that's going to be 14,400 yen. Sorry, that's not my y. My change in y is going to be 318 minus 102, so $216. Okay, and the change in x is going to be 14,400 yen. Okay, so then my slope then is going to be $216 per 14,400 yen. Okay, so let's get a calculator out here and calculate this. We have, let's see, 216 divided by 14,400, and that gives me a slope of $0.015 Canadian for every 1 yen. Okay, so that's my slope. So I need to then come up with the y-intercept. So my equation looks like this so far. Y equals 0.015x plus b. Okay, and our b is somewhere here. And so let's calculate our b. So to calculate our b, we plug in an x and y pair. So I'm going to plug in $102 for Canadian dollars, and that goes with 6,300 yen. That leaves me with just b to solve for. So I'm going to times 0.015 by 6,300. I get $94.50. Okay, and then my b works out to be, looks like it's going to be $7.50. Okay, so it looks like my transaction fee is going to be $7.50 because that represents my starting amount, the initial charge. So then writing my equation, okay, the dollars Canadian is equal to 0.015 times the number of yen plus a transaction fee of $7.50. So there is my relationship. Okay, the exchange rate is going to be $0.015 Canadian for every 1 yen. And the transaction fee looks like it's $7.50 Canadian. And we know it's Canadian because that B is a Y value, and that is the Y values are represented by Canadian dollars along the Y axis. So here Joe, a wood craftsman, earns a salary of $200 a month plus $45 for every item he makes. Well, if I'm reading this correctly, what I'm looking for my relationships are a starting amount and a rate of increase, $45 for every item he makes. Well, my independent variable should be the number of items he makes, and the dependent variable should be the monthly earnings. So I want this y equals mx plus b. And if I'm correct, this being my rate, I should be able to replace that for m. So it should be $45 per month is my rate. The b value should be my starting amount. Okay, that should relate to my $200 that I'm going to make at the very beginning. And that's going to be my B. And so, oops, I forgot to put my variables in here. My variables then are going to be, my independent variable is the number of items. Okay, so I'm going to write this as, times n, and the y value is his salary, so I'll write that as S. So salary earned is going to be $200 plus $45 for every item. Oops, this is not per month, but this is for every item. Okay, so I forgot to read carefully, $45 for every item. So this is the number of items. This is per item. Okay, so I'll clean that up. It looks kind of awkward, so I'm just going to write this as 45x plus 200. So the slope represents, in this case, the slope is the charge per item, and the y-intercept represents the starting salary. And the y-intercept has to have the same units as the y value, okay, or my dependent variable salary. So the y-intercept can't be items, it has to be something to do with money.